I want to thank all y'all for coming out. This is the first ever live interview from the Roach Houston. And if you don't know the purpose of the Roach, is to show young people how to take their talents and their passions and go get money from it. So today we're going to be interviewing a filmmaker / photographer. Go early film.
Yeah, the process usually goes, my average shoot usually lasts about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hour shoots, you know, because I'm dealing with right now I'm dealing with a lot of underground, probably about to break out of the ground artists in the city of Houston. You know, it's one based at is Houston, Texas, so it goes from like a 3 to 4 hour shoot, if you want that good, solid, you know, drawn out shoot. And then as far as the editing will take me about the same thing too, because I'm perfected when it comes to that. Like, I'm breaking it down to the millisecond, you know, and everything. So I'm in that editing. I might do 2 hours editing one day, and what I usually do is kind of break it down into 2 days. So do a 2 hour one day, give it good energy, good vibe, and come back the second day and clean it up with the transitions and effects and stuff like that. And your titles, you know, when the video come on, you know, the artist name pop up. I usually do that my next day for the last 2 hours. So all together, about an 8 hour video, you know what I mean? And right now I'm actually not doing it full time. I ain't working just like everybody else, but you know, I find time after work and on weekends to run my business. So just imagine, like you say, the time frame, 4 hour shoot, 4 hour edit. I really can be shooting and editing the video in a regular work day, an 8 hour period. So right. So that's what I'm pushing towards every day. I've been going hard for the last like year to 2 years. I've been home from the Navy about 3 years. So it's just really been something I've been pressing in the city and just kind of make a name for myself. So that's what I'm doing right now these days. Want me with you?
Now, how did you know you had enough skill in what you do to pursue it professionally or to charge money for it? Was it an aha moment, or did somebody tell you, or did you see somebody else's work and be like, man, I can do that too? How did you know what I'm saying, go from wanting to do it to actually doing it?
Like I was telling you earlier during the break, man, I started off with my cousin. You know, everybody got a cousin, especially in our community. Everybody got a cousin that rap. Somebody that came up with that was the same age as them. So me and him started out shooting free videos, just kind of get my feet wet in it before I jumped out there and asked people to pay me. But the crazy part about it was, you know, he would post it and just put it on Facebook, Instagram and stuff, and people started hitting him and they started hitting me because he would tag me. So after that, I was like, oh, okay, they liking what I'm doing. Let me keep doing it, because like you said, like you said to the youth, you know, you want to be able to find something that you enjoy to do and make money out of it. And that's the main thing out here, man. Especially being from the South, you know, you got to find a way to make $1. So when I found out people wanted to pay me that $1, I just kept going, and I already had the passion. It wasn't even about the money, and it's still not about the money. You know what I'm saying? The money gonna come, but it's just you gotta have that passion and do something you enjoy to do. Even when your life isn't, you know, going through your ups and downs. Like I turned on my camera, editing, and you know, they kind of take me away. So just find something that you love to do, and like you say, it'll come and keep working, and people will see, you know.
And you said you came home from the Navy 3 years ago. Is that how long you've been doing the filmmaking, for 3 years?
No, I've been doing film since 2009. I actually started while I was at Bled in Brenham. I was going back and forth from Brenham, PV. I started out doing like pictures at clubs. Like that's when back in the day when like the Party Boys was hot out there. Kurt Cobain, The Road, Mr. Rogers, the DJ. He had just had his little college, you know, break or whatnot. So I was in the club, you know, doing the photos, passing out. I remember when I first started, I used to print out paper little cards and cut them out, go to the club and say, y'all follow at the time it was full-time money photography. And I tried to, you know, level it up, so I changed the name, you know, because I didn't want it to be too ratchet, because it's club driven. But after I did that and rebranded, I've been doing film, like I say, 10 years, since 2009. And I ain't stopped since, man. I'm planning on stopping ever. And, right now, I'm actually working on a short film that's in the process of being edited. So I'll keep y'all posted on that too. My first short film with the agency and everything. So it's something to look forward to.
Now, what are the different challenges in making a music video between and making a short film. You talk about that?
Yeah, I actually in the last 6 months been shooting a short film, and it was a way different experience than just starting out with a cousin in the hood and shooting videos. It was like a reality check, honestly, as far as a filmmaker, because you think you know it all, or you think, oh, I got the keys to it, and then you get around people that's on another level of film, and you start learning, oh, I don't know everything. So it was a good learning experience because I don't know if I told you, I never went to school, I never stepped in a class for this. This is all stuff I have passion for, and I learned off of YouTube. You know what I mean? YouTube tutorials from other guys, just teaching you how to edit, teaching you how to shoot, teaching you how to use your camera. Like, I learned it all on my own, just on my phone, looking at YouTube tutorials at work, wherever I'm at. I'm always trying to soak up more knowledge because I know I don't have the booking behind me, but it's stuff out there to help you level up whatever you're trying to do, even if you don't have the money for the school side of it. So don't make an excuse. I know we're talking to the youth right now, and I want to tell you, I don't ever make an excuse for not being able to learn something, because the times we living in now, like, we got phones, we got Google, we got so many things you can find a way to come up. So it just keep that knowledge driven, you know, inside. You gotta really want it and hustle. That's all I say that many times a day, that word hustle. It's like you gotta have it in you, and just have some, you know, good people around you too, man.
Now, without you having the degrees and all the schooling that the next person might have, do you feel like that's holding you back when you try to do things, you know what I'm saying, above your level, or try to pursue, advance your career? Do you feel like people hold that against you, that you're self-taught and not having a degree?
Sometimes, I always say it's mentality. I keep a chip on my shoulder mentality, not in a sense of cockiness, arrogance, or try to feel like I'm better than anybody, but a sense of like that hunger chip, you know what I'm saying? Like you hunger for more, like even when you got it, you don't got it, you know what I mean? Like you gotta keep going. So it's just, when I try to get into bigger rooms, I'm a risk taker. Everybody that know me, you know I'll ask and get a no. I ain't scared to hear no. So I just hit Tyler Perry, you name it, Steve Harvey in the email, just random people. This was like 3 years ago, before I got to the level I'm at now. I'm still not where I want to be, but I still hit them because I always been ambitious like that. So yeah, what you got to lose here, no? You know what I mean? Like most of the time at this level you expect no, so he's like, I might as well try it, you know what I mean? And see if they'll give you advice on what you should do right, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm not scared to ask. But I do feel sometimes it is a setback not having, you know, the degree behind me. But at the same time, I've ran into guys that have like Full Sail, Art Institute degrees, and they can't find clientele. They don't know how to go out here and hustle and talk to the artists. So it's one thing I got just from getting out of the mud, as they say, with having that zeal about me to go out there and be outgoing and talk to the artists and shake somebody's hand, give them a card, because that's all stuff that they don't teach you in school. It's like hustle is something you can't be taught. You gotta really have it in you, no matter what type of business it is. Like, so that's what I really focus on, and not kind of like swimming that little pity party. Like, oh, I don't have a degree, but I got all the equipment, the software, so why make you figure out a way? And from our business, I know you check out a few of them. That's pretty much how I make it come to life. The best people in the world. I know it's not always easy. Now, the perfect girl, you had everything you wanted, you had to choose to make your own short film, what kind of movie you make and everything you prefer. The type of movie I would make is it would be nothing for the time. I want to be kind of like really accessible. I think that our people, you know, lessons behind it, you know, real life scenarios from the house scenes, the drama that goes on in our household to the day, the drug abuse, everything. I want to open a lot of people's eyes and stuff like that, and not the stuff that really comes out sometimes it's talking about turn on YouTube videos. Most of y'all, all that, I think still want to put out positive projects that actually touch the youth, you know what I mean? It's still, oh, okay. I can relate to this, so I was able to have cash like that as well, so where like it makes you laugh, it makes you funny, so kind of showing me the serious inside too, you know, you don't have to listen to it. That way it's more transparent. Maybe you say Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey, you can have to do it. So you know, a few more people that to motivate you to do what you're doing. First off, man, I want to say Mom the first one, she had got him in the job, and leg-wise, Spike Lee was definitely a big one, I follow a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, filmmakers, so Spike Lee, different film directors, as far as Steven Spielberg, I watch Steven stuff like that because I got a mentor. Shout out to Tony, man. The guy did the short film and he put me on how to do it. Open my eyes to it. Shot with different underground artists and, like I say, breakout artists possibly right now that I can put in my bio in a few months when they blow type deals. But yeah, so that and that was my whole perspective on why I did it. You know what I mean? I know it wasn't about getting rich off $100 videos, but that ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? That is not y'all talking to the video. I'm still with that same mentality, like, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? Y'all hit me. Even if y'all want me to shoot, I can edit. Y'all can send me something to edit, you know what I mean?
Now, looking back, what's a mistake that you made that you feel like was so dumb but in hindsight, you realize that you had to make that mistake on a small scale so you wouldn't make that mistake on a bigger scale. If you understand what I'm saying, you do.
Yeah. I would say just what I said about the $100 special. I go back to that. Like I said, I know it wasn't a good decision as far as like branding, not even branding wise, like financial wise. You know what I mean? Because you wanted to always add up, and it was, you know, it was I was eating off of it. You know, it wasn't no balling. I wasn't going to the gallo and balling out, but I was eating. I was taking care of my people. You know, but at the end of the day, one thing I would say that I would take back from from the old work that I did was like the stabilizer. Like that's all new stuff I got in the last year. The drone, stuff like that. But I started out just straight hand, you know, straight hand in the camera. So I go back on old films from like 3, 4, 5 years ago and be like, man, if I knew what I knew now, like you said, going back to if I knew what I knew now, I would go back and change that stuff, but at the same time, I look at it like, okay, I did all this. I always like to look back on all the stuff because it inspires me from where I'm at now. You know what I mean? And it's showing me, okay, you got from here to here, but even though I'm here, I still want to go to another spot too. So I'm always trying to level up, get the best equipment, even though it is an expensive, you know, industry to be in. Like you gotta have some type of money or like some type of hustle to take the money from the hustle and put it back into the business. That's why I do the 33. So that's something I would probably say I would want to take back in a sense, but at the same time, I don't regret it either.
Now, what type of opportunities do you need to take advantage of for you to be able to shoot films full-time and pay your bills?
First off, the building be a studio. You know, that was always my dream when I was 10 years ago when I first started. I said, well, I want to have my own studio. I want you to be the receptionist, you know, welcome everybody in, have a good setting where you can bring the kids in, do family portraits, school photos where you ain't got to be paying these school all this money, and, you know, get affordable photos with your family and stuff like that. So I feel like an establishment would be good. Just better equipment as far as when you talk about short films. You want a Blackmagic, you want a Red Cam. Them cameras go $5,000, $6,000 up. You know what I mean? And you working, man. You got a family. You know, you ain't just balling. You ain't got just 5, 6 racks just sitting around just to buy a camera. So it's just stuff like that. Having the big budget, people hit you, you know, and just keep pushing till they hit you, you know. So with those three, 4 things right there, man, I feel like if I had that, you know, that'll really level my business all the way up. I'm talking like all the way, but at the same time, I don't make no excuses because, give you another example, I have a backdrop, you know, and I actually come to people's houses right now because I don't have my own studio, and I do photos in their living room, or wherever they find space in their house, I can do it. Or if I'm comfortable with you, I might know you or you a friend, I'll tell you to come to my house because I don't make no excuses. If you want to create, we're going to create. You know what I mean? So that's how I really keep the vision going right now until I get to where I want to be because, you know, I'm a Christian man and I really believe in speaking things into existence. So if you speak it and you go out there and work for it, God will bless you with it. You know what I mean? Just keep him first. So that's why I come up with.
I think that's going to be our first wave of questions. We're going to stop, take a little break. Y'all want to get something to eat. My mouth a little dry, so I'm going to get this in the drink. We're going to stop, play a little music, then we're going to come back with a little Q&A session. All right, we at the Q&A portion of the show. I'm going to walk around, and if you got a question, just like when you're in school, put your hand up, and I'm going to come by and talk to you. I don't see no hands. All right, stand up for me. Tell me your name, your age, and your grade, and then tell me your question.
My name is Dejan. I'm 9 years old. I'm in 4th grade. What is the difference between you being in the Army than doing film?
That's a good question, man. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in the Navy, I was in the Navy, by the way. I was actually based in Marines. We used to run 6 miles a day, and I used to take my camera with me. Like, they told me the first time, why you got your camera? I said, man, I do photography outside of here. And they they weren't trying to hear, because I was a military policeman while I was in. So I was taking my camera running, and they ended up making me the command photographer. So one thing I would say that's different, it's not different. Like, I always been a well balanced when it comes to this, because it's like, I look to this when I don't look to nothing else, because I know these jobs, the military or the job I'm at now, they can let me go, they can say, forget you, man, we don't need you no more. And I can go home and I can say, I got my camera still, you know? So that's the difference. It's just the job difference pretty much, man. But at the same time, now I got way more time because the military took a lot of time from me. I had a little son back home. He was 6 months old when I left. And after my 4 years up, I came home to him, and he's actually the little boy that you hear at the end of my videos. That's my son that says Zorley Films at the end of all my videos. So that's a little cool fact for you right there. But the difference is it's just balance, man. You just gotta balance out. I got more time to balance now than I did in the military. That's the difference. But other than that, man, I always had that balance with me and was steady learning while I was in the military. I had my laptop in my barracks room, still editing when I came home from a long day, standing post 14 hours in the sun. I came home and tried to learn something on Photoshop every time, because I knew one day I was coming back to Houston and I had to do what I'm doing right now. So that was my balance.
Next question in the back.
I just want to say, first off, the interview was awesome. I learned a lot. I'm not in the camera industry and things of that nature, but I feel like I was telling my auntie, that the things you were saying, you can use in any principle or for life here. But I too was in the Navy, and my question to you is, do you feel like did the Navy have anything to do with your professionalism and just your dedication to work?
Most definitely. I can definitely talk on that one. Yeah, shout out to, what's your name?
Richard.
Richard. Yeah, shout out to Richard, man, my Navy brother back there. But what he asked was, has it helped me professionally? And that's honestly like one of the biggest things right now. Like, to this day, like the balance, the pressures, everything, like the things you can handle that normal people that's back in Houston can't handle when it comes to running the business, and the flexibility and being able to bend this way or bend that way. So I still say to this day, like, man, the military did so much for me as far as like even putting more onto my hustle and blood that was already in me, you know what I mean? So, and then I was with Marines too, so like,
I was a corpsman, so
yeah, my brother was a corpsman for 8 years, so, you know, it's just things like that, man, that I still take to this day, and I be like, it's not that bad, because I remember how bad it was when I was in. So it's like, even on my worst day in Houston, like, it's still not as bad as it was on that post, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I definitely say, man, that professionalism, that poise, that cool, calm, collective spirit, that's the military done for me in my business, especially dealing with a lot of different artists and underground artists, and they not being organized, they not being on time, and it's just, you gotta like keep your calm as a business professional and be like, okay, and you know dang well you wanna go off sometimes, but you gotta be like, you know what, it's not that bad, man, because I could be on that post right now and not in Houston in the loop somewhere. So that's definitely what I took from the military on the professional side, as far as keeping my poise and staying cool, calm, and collected at all times.
Next question.
My name is David. I'm 11 years old and I'm in 5th grade. What type of videos do you do? Short films, Tyler Perry films, or stage films?
Right now, the type of films that I'm focused on and that I want to do is short films. The reason why I say not the Tyler Perry type of films, because you want to gradually grow into that. You don't want to go back. You don't want to try to go to the top and then have to work your way back down. So I try to work my way up and be humble and go through the steps, because the process is the best part, honestly. Like, when you get to the top, it's like, okay, I'm at the top now. But when you're in the process, it's like you gotta enjoy the process and enjoy like looking back sometime on them throwback Thursdays and be like, man, I came a long way, but not get comfortable, like, keep going, and you use that as motivation to keep going. So short films would be the first thing that I'm focused on right now. I'm not even worried about feature films, 2-hour movies yet, because there's so much that comes with that, like, especially on the editing side and the shooting side. It might take you a whole year to shoot a whole movie, like. So right now, the short films, like, I can even bring in guys like you, like, you know what I'm saying, to act in it if you want to. So short films is the easiest way and the cheapest way to show people that you can possibly do a Tyler Perry film one day. So I say start off with short films at any cost, because you can always shop them to film festivals and stuff like that and get recognized by people like Tyler Perry, and he'll bring you in and let you work with him. I done heard stories like that all the time. So do the short films, and people like Tyler, they'll call you if your short film is good enough. So.
I seen your hand up, Virgo. Get you. I seen your hand up. Tell them your name, your age, and your grade, and your question.
Okay, my name is Journey Garcia. I'm in the 10th grade, and I want to know, like, because I want to go to the Air Force, so I want to know, like, what's it like being in the Navy, because I know it's all similar or whatnot.
First off, I will say the working, it ain't like a regular 9-to-5 job. Like, if they call you in, you gotta go. And if you're not ready for that, get ready if you're gonna go. But as far as the other pieces, is you go in young. It's really like being in college, honestly. Like from the barracks to the off time, you know, you do the same thing. You go club in the city and turn up and all that good stuff. But at the same time, it's a lot of structure. And if you want something to kind of come back home after, if you do a quick 4 and just come back like I did, I'll request that you should do that, because it does help, like I say, with dealing with people that don't know how to deal with pressure and stuff like that. You'll be kind of ahead of your peers when you come home after those 4 years. And like I said, it's like college. I look at it like college because I got a lot of experience in them 4 years that some people didn't experience, or just knowing that life is bigger than just Houston, because before that, I didn't know, like, you can travel. I didn't know there was other cities to be seen or other countries to be seen, but now I do. So now I'm like, man, let me get out of Houston. Even though I'm back home, I still be like, let's travel, let's get up out of here. So I hope I answered your question as far as the whole setup, because a lot of people just look at it like the commercials and jumping out of planes and all that. But if they base you in the country, like in the U.S., and you ain't overseas, you going to work probably 12 to 14 hours a day. You're going to get off. You're going to have your apartment off base like I had, all that. It's just like a normal job, really. But you just right there in that local town, you know. So your family still come see you and all that. But the shift life, like if you want to do that, that's a whole other ball game. I've never done that. I don't know if he has, but I've never been underway. It was really like I was just right off the road. My son used to come fly to Georgia to see me. Like, it was still kind of normal somewhat, but it's just a lot of time consuming. If you really got to be ready to sacrifice a lot of your time, because when you take that oath, like, you really is giving them people your life. Like, so do it 4 and get out. All I'm saying, don't stay to 20. If you can do it, stay to 20, get that retirement or something.
Yeah, put him on.
What type of artists you work with?
People in the city know me for working with a lot of underground rap artists. I always say I don't want to be labeled as that guy that works with the underground rap artists in Houston, because I do way more other stuff than just rap videos. If you go to my YouTube channel, I'm gonna give you a card before I leave. You can check out my YouTube channel. I got videos for days, like 10 years worth of videos on there. But I do commercials as well. I'm just working with artists. I do commercials for small businesses, people that got their own clothing lines. I did commercials for people that had their own swimsuits, barbers commercials for mobile barbers. You name it, I just did it. So as far as artists, it's just really like I work with a lot of rap artists, the mobile rappers, the gangs, all that good stuff. But at the same time, it ain't just rap artists, man. Even you, if you want to do music, you ain't got to just do rap. You can do pop, anything. You can do gospel music if you want to. You know, it's all money. So
Zoe Only Films.